Bardock versus Vegeta. Now, back in the day, I probably would have done Bardock versus King Vegeta because that's more of a fair fight. I think probably King Vegeta would have won if we're using the old anime canon where you have Bardock, the father of Kakarot / Goku, but now, post the Granola arc in the Dragon Ball Super manga, we have Bardock, who fought someone who's really impressive if you know the statements that Torotoro stated, how strong the Heaters was. Hello, it's your boy SonTJ here. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, and if you end up not liking the video later, you can hit the unlike and you can unsubscribe, whatever you want to do. And this is my first time doing long form content in a very long time. I've been like either doing long form content when I'm feeling like ready or motivated, or I've been sticking to shorts because the views have been more consistent. So if y'all want me to do more long form content, please hit that like button. Like I said earlier before, it just makes me stay motivated. So now, I know a lot of people, because I did a poll, think that Prince Vegeta wins this easily. And I don't blame him because statements that Torotoro said or Kiritorama said are not really as well known in the popular mainstream. And Vegeta was pretty much the strongest Saiyan before we got this information when the Saiyan saga was around. Like, even for the people who think I'm so biased towards Goku, Vegeta won their fight fair and square. Like, Goku had the Kaioken, Vegeta had Uzaru, and if Goku got the Spirit Bomb off, he would have won because only like a small percentage of Spirit Bomb was able to take down Vegeta. If he got the full one off, he probably would have killed Vegeta. But Vegeta won fair and square, and Vegeta was the strongest Saiyan at that time. But what if there's a Saiyan who was stronger than King Vegeta and Prince Vegeta, and he was known as a low tier Saiyan, but yeah, and he got on planet Cereal, became really strong. Now, some people will say, oh, well, why he didn't take on Frieza? Well, Frieza was ridiculously strong. So let's talk about it here. So most people know Bardock for having a power level around 10,000 in the OVA, in the special. Which you can either say that he's either above 10,000 or maybe he could take on King Vegeta, but there was no chance he's going to take on Prince Vegeta. Like, Prince Vegeta was like stronger than his dad, who had like a power level of 10,000, and Vegeta, by the time of the Saiyan saga, had a power level of 18,000. So it was pretty much clean cut that Bardock from that canon was not going to win. But we do remember that Bardock faced someone really strong, the Heaters. Now, this statement can be interpreted in different ways, so if you don't agree with it, that's totally fine. But if you ever seen the movie Yo Son Goku and Friends, there's a group called the Abo and Kado, and they're comparable to either First Form Frieza. I think, yeah, they're comparable to First Form Frieza, but they were strong as Ginyu before they got to that point. They were strong around them, but then they trained, and by the time they faced Goku, Vegeta, and Friends, they were strong as base form Frieza. Then when they fused, they was able to like tank punches from like Super Saiyan Gotenks. But Torotoro compares Gas to Abo and Kado, pretty much saying that before Gas shows up in the manga, he was around the strength of the Ginyu Force, but then by the time he shows up, he's around the strength of like First Form Frieza. So like pretty much saying that around that level. Now, you gotta remind yourself, a person with a power level of 10,000 is not gonna be able to beat someone of Ginyu's level who had 120,000. Now again, you can argue that Ginyu was weaker during the time where the planet Vegeta was destroyed. So you can say like maybe his power level was like 50,000 or 20,000. Either way, if you half it to 60,000, that still dwarfs Vegeta's 18,000 power level, okay? But listen, you gotta remember, because people don't remember this, like Bardock was losing against Gas like throughout the entire fight. Like, he was getting his butt whooped, but then his will to win gave him this Saiyan power / Zenkai boost where he just like dominated Gas and scarred him for years upon end, because Goku's like 40 something. So like, scarred him for that long to the point that even like getting that type of like aggression from Goku like sparked something in him. So Bardock in the Dragon Ball Super manga is pretty strong. Now we can either say that his power level is above, like we want to like lowball it and say it's above 60,000. That is ridiculously stronger than Vegeta's 18,000 power level. But like if we do a lowball Bardock and say he's like around 60,000 or 70,000, like where Captain Ginyu was during that time, then he should lose to Uzaru Vegeta, right? And again, they're both martial arts masters. I think Vegeta's more gifted in martial arts than Bardock. I think Bardock is still a great fighter, but even then, like Bardock should know like to cut the tail off, things like that. And granted, if that was the case, like again, we don't know because Bardock seems like the person he doesn't know how to control his Uzaru form. So if they both win Uzaru, probably Vegeta would win because it seems like only Vegeta and King Vegeta's like they're the only ones that look like they can control the Uzaru form. So if they win Uzaru, Bardock would be stronger, but maybe Uzaru Vegeta would be smarter. Who knows? But if we're going by the actual power level of Captain Ginyu, maybe that can stay consistent because we saw Captain Ginyu was in the main body we've seen before in the Broly movie, where we see Ginyu and like everyone in there, and like we see that the Ginyu Force doesn't train. So most likely Captain Ginyu's power level has been 120,000 for a very long time because he really didn't think anyone was stronger than him except Frieza. So Bardock was able to beat someone that was Captain Ginyu level. Again, we don't even know if Toritaro was referring to Instinct's Unleashed Gas, because Instinct's Unleashed Gas is even more of a big power boost. So could he have been as strong as Ginyu in base? Who knows? But if he was able to beat someone who's like maybe twice as strong as Ginyu and dominate him on that factor, then yeah, Bardock is definitely beating Vegeta. But people might argue that like, okay, if Bardock was this strong, how did he lose to Frieza? Well, Frieza's base power level was 530,000. So even if like Bardock had a power of 200,000, he's still losing to base Frieza like completely. First form Frieza, yeah, he's losing to him like without, yeah, like is no fight there. And also, it's not to even mention that the Death Ball, maybe like it's like the Kamehameha where it gives like a multiplier to the power level. But yeah, that's how I feel about this fight. Again, it's hard. It's like with Frieza Saga and anything before that, you can just argue power levels and then the fight is over. And this is not me just dunk on Vegeta saying like, oh look, I'm going to put a fight where Vegeta can't win. But let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think there's any way possible for Vegeta to be able to beat DBS Bardock? Do you feel like the statements are unfair and like Bardock should not even be this strong in the first place? He's a low class Saiyan, things like that. But it kind of adds on to the theme that like a low class can surpass an elite. Granted, he didn't really do it through masters in martial arts like Goku did, but he did it by surviving a lot of ass whoopings and making it down that way. So for this fight, I have to say that Bardock wins this. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree with me. Do you feel like Gas was really that strong during that time where Goku was born, Vegeta was born? Well, actually, Vegeta's strong, older. So anyway, that's how I feel about that. Let me know any more versus debates y'all want in the comment section down below. I really want to get back into making long form content again. I kind of miss it, and I like talking longer than 60 seconds. It's fun for me. And hopefully the watch time and likes are high, man. So if you kept that like button up, I appreciate you. And I also have merch and things in my description. If you like Spider-Man, like superheroes, Dragon Ball, Naruto, I have my avatar there if you want it. It really helps out the channel. SonTJ, peace. Love you all.